Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Bryan Maldonado. I am a research staff at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. I'm going to present on behalf of Nolan Hayes that couldn't make it here. And I want to acknowledge our team members, Mengjia, Peter, and Diana Hon. Diana is the principal investigator for this project. And of course, to thank the Department of Energy for supporting this work. So today I'm going to present a digital tool that is going to help us in the installation of prefabricated panels. Department of Energy right now is very much focused on retrofitting, but this technique could also be applied for new construction. So in prefabricated component installation has some issues that come from the fact that the installation right now is done manually. So right now, workers have to manually measure distances, and they have to manually position the panels where it should be, and those things lead to errors. In this image here, we stole this from Professor Targo Kalamese from Tajin University. In Estonia, they are right now implementing overclad panel retrofitting. This is one of the main projects we're working at Oak Ridge National Lab. And you can see how in the first image, the panel is being set initially. You cannot evaluate immediately how good the panel has been positioned. You evaluate the panel after the fact. And then after you set it up, you figure out, oops, we made a mistake. We have to move this couple of inches to the left or to the right or up. And then in this particular project, they experienced a 2-hour stoppage because of this issue. So everything is stopped. The crane is stopped. The general contractor is just running through the money without being productive until the issue is fixed, and then you can continue. So our tool is trying to prevent this, and instead of dealing with errors after the fact, you can deal with errors while you're installing, so you avoid this. I'm going to present a particular aspect of this, but the main tool that we're developing is called the real-time evaluator. So in this animation here, the idea is that first we're going to have a digital twin of the as-built dimensions. In the digital space, we know where things should be. In the real work site, we can track how panels are being installed. And as they are being installed, we can calculate the errors and we can communicate those errors to the installation crew. So you can see here the messages of like, oh, okay, either the crane operator or whoever is in a cherry picker installing these panels, we can say you still have to push an inch here, an inch there, rotate the panel. And in this manner, we can track in real time. And by the end of the installation, we minimize the error as much as we can. So as I mentioned, right now we're focusing very much on retrofits, but this could also be applied to new construction and infrastructure, such as bridges, for example. I'm going to describe the general methods of this that we have been working on. The first one is the digital twin. We're right now dealing with point clouds because we require high accuracy that some cameras cannot achieve. We want to have an accuracy of 3 millimeters. So we have developed methods of taking point clouds and generating digital twins with the as-built dimensions and all the crookedness and of the curvature of walls and all of that, that you can have a very robust design of the overclad panel retrofit that you want to do. Then we have the component tracker. This has been presented in the previous ISARC, where we are using a robotic total station to track prisms installed in the panels. If you know the position and orientation of the object in space, then you can communicate the error to the installation crew. And this is something that we're still working on, and the best way we can communicate with the crew. And this is the kind of like human-machine interaction. So how do we communicate these errors in a productive way such that construction crews can do the best job they can? What I'm gonna talk about today is the connection locating system. So this is something that is done before you install the panel, on how you install the connections accurately. So now when you're driving the panel, you know that you're gonna install it in the correct place. So for this, we use a robotic multi-station and disposable reflector targets. We are not using prisms in this case. Targets are enough. Prisms are needed for tracking. These tapes are good enough for measurements. The software that we developed this software in-house, and the main features are the direct communication with the total station. And then in the software component, we have all the calculations needed for importing the digital twin, analyzing the digital twin in the digital space, and comparing what happens in the digital space with the real world space. As I mentioned, I'm going to talk only about the connection locating system. This is the main part of the paper. So this has to be inputted in the digital twin. So once you have the digital twin with the as-built dimensions, the architect or the civil engineer or whoever is designing the system needs to decide how many connections they need and where the connections should be. That information is saved in the digital twin such that the real-time evaluator can point towards it and calculate errors. So you can see here an image of the connections that we are using, and then the connections are going to have this tape reflector in order to measure where things are. And in this case, all these green rectangles show where the connections are going to be installed in our particular mock-up demonstration that we have. So there are two ways of doing this. One is the guided installation. So the guided installation will be the ideal because you are letting the system tell you where things should be. So basically, remember that we're working on retrofits. So that is already an existing wall. So this robotic total station is going to automatically point where the connection should be, and then the workers can go to the multi-station has a laser pointer. So the workers will go towards the laser pointer and install the connection there. The evaluation mode is the not so ideal case in which you install the connections first using traditional methods, and then you evaluate how accurate the connections were. So we have this lab scale prototype where we have been making tests. This is approximately a 1/3 scale mock-up of a 3-story building. So we have been using this a lot to test our methods. You can see that we have a digital twin from it with the dimensions of the real lab scale prototype. We have a little simulated crane over here for panel installation, but I'm not going to show anything with regard to a crane installation in this presentation. And then here are the pictures of the connections we have, and then the panel. The panel has a mating connection on the back of it, so you can just go and drop it there. So the experiment that the Nolan conducted has 2 parts. It's basically the 2 different modes in which you can operate with this tool. The manual installation, in which he used traditional hand tools like tape measurements and levels. So he will manually measure where this point should be with the tape measure, level the connection, and then drill the holes. And the guided installation is using the digital tool. So you can see here the laser pointing to where the location should be. So then Nolan will bring the tape, center the tape with the laser pointer, and then drill the holes and install the connections. And you can see here how you can position the total station far enough away such that you can reach the entire facade, and then it's going the machine is going to tell you exactly where things should be. If you are wondering, okay, we generate the digital twin with the machine in one side, and then you move the machine on the other side. How do we know that things are where they should be? There is another presentation later today that deals with that, on how you can move the total station as much as you want. And as long as you have certain control points, we can always know where things are. So that is not an issue. So this is a nice guided video of the experiment. So I'm just going to let it play. So on the left side, you're gonna see the manual installation, Nolan using the typical tools. And in the right side, you're gonna see the laser. If you can really see the red dot moving around the wall. That is the objective that you're gonna be chasing, and that is where you're going to install your connection. And you can see how fast it is because you do not have to be switching tools or measuring and marking things, but rather just follow the laser and drill the hole. So it's quite faster. Here are the results. So the main thing is the reduction in time. We see comparable errors between manual and guided. This might be due to the scale of it because it's small, and we haven't seen issues of, for example, the measuring tape bending, where that can give you some inaccuracies. So it might be that due to the scale, the errors were comparable, but really the time savings is there. So that's one of the main advantages of it. So in the next step for this project, we are going to integrate this with the other tools of the RTE and test the entire digital tool from beginning to end. So from the generation of the digital twin, and from the installation of the connections, and then the installations of the panels themselves. So in this paper is really a deep dive of how the connection locating system works. And if you're curious about the other methods, we have other papers in ISARC as well, talking about how the different parts of the real-time evaluator work. And with that, yeah, I will open it for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan. Let's open the floor for questions. We were able to catch up a little bit with the time, so we are right on time for lunch, but we spend maybe a couple minutes here for a couple questions. Anyone? I guess lunch is more important. No.
I'm Emre Ergin from RWTH Aachen University. So my question is that you mentioned positioning, like translational positioning of the connectors on the wall itself. What do you think about the orientational accuracy of those pieces? Is this like in 2D plane, you have to orient them in some way? Has it been on the guided version? Has it been done manually still, or with like a water level or something, or do you have any approach like use maybe 2 of those laser scanners to be able to also laser projectors to be able to also orient it?
Yes, that is a very good question. So these connectors here are quite small. So you can see, you can hold them. They're like maybe a bit over an inch width. So leveling these things are not problematic. That's why we only use one of these tags. But if your connection is larger and you need to level it, then you can use 2 of these tags. So basically, let's say you have the left side and the right side of the connection. So the RTE will point to the left side, drill the hole there, and then while the left side is fixed, you can still move the connection, go to the right side, and there will be a laser pointer on the right side, and then drill the other screw for the same connection. So you use the same machine. It's just you have 2 of these that you have to follow, but you can still use the same machine.
Hello, I'm Ali from University of Toronto. I have a question about the efficiency of your method. So you told that it's take like 1 hour or 2 hours maybe to correct the manual installation. But my question is, so let's say we implement this method, which seems really good. It's very plausible, but how long would it take to prepare the requirements, like the digital twin and also the installation of the cameras that are equipments that help us to install those panels? Does it worth it from perspective of the time and also the cost?
Okay, that's a great question. Thanks. There will be some upfront load that usually doesn't exist because you have to prepare the entire project for automation. On the digital twin, we have been working a lot on automating that. So you can check our previous publication on it, but we have been trying to do the best we can automating that part because that takes time. And right now that is not fully automated, and some companies can promise you digital twin in a couple of days. We're trying to do that in minutes. Regarding this, once you have the digital twin, then the responsibility kind of like falls towards whoever is designing the overclad paneling system. If you are designing, then that will be the time that it takes for you. We haven't automated that, so somebody has to design how many panels, where the panels are located, where the connections are located. So that is still something that we have not worked on. But if you, let's suppose that you give that to somebody else and somebody gets back to you telling you this is where the connections are, this system, you can set it up very fast. Once you have the digital twin, you take your total station, set it up. As I mentioned, there is another paper that I'm presenting later today in which tells you exactly how you can correct the position of the real building with respect to the digital building. And then you just click play and the thing is gonna walk you through everything. You can choose which connections you want to install, in which order, and then this thing is gonna run. So setting up, it doesn't take you time as long as the digital twin is good and the connecting system is in the right place.
Hello, my name is Eder from the FHMB in Switzerland. Thank you for your presentation, very interesting. My question goes for the digital side of the entire process. In many cases, particularly in the intersection of different elements in a building, the designers actually allow for a certain range of tolerances, plus minus millimeters here and there. I wonder how you consider that, if yes or not, in your model, and how can you account for that type of allowances in the experiment in the future?
Yes, thanks for the question. Yes, that is considered in this component tracking side. So the component tracking is gonna tell you, not only, it's gonna give you a green light if you install it within tolerances. If you're not within a tolerance, it's gonna give you an error. And it's gonna give you a red light and it's gonna say, hey, your tolerance is 3 millimeters, but you are off 4 millimeters to the left. What do you wanna do? Ideally, you would like to correct. One of the things that we are trying to expand is an adaptive method of what happens if you don't correct. How can you correct the future panels in order to really minimize the error? But right now, this part is going to complain. It's going to say you are not within tolerance. So what do you want to do about it? So that communicates to the installation crew in this step.